Yeah, coming here to Saint Anton and being in this area in Tyrol and it's special for me because I've been coming here for the last 3 years and visiting my friend Beat Kammerlander. And in some ways, I don't feel comfortable in my own country, just because a lot base jumping is a big passion of mine, and that's illegal in the United States. So over there, I've got to, run from the police if I do it, and then here I get to come and talk with people, and I don't have to hide, and people think it's cool. Also, after coming here for the last 3 years, place starts to feel more like home. I live only a half hour away in Beat's and Christina's guest bedroom, and get to explore these areas like I explored when I was a little kid living at my parents' house. Most of the time I'm real nervous talking, and literally I live in caves sometimes, or alone, and deep in the wilderness, and so I'm not used to people, so I don't give very many slideshows, and this was the first one I gave with the short films, just because friends have been encouraging me to tell my story, and even though I'm not such a public speaker, I still hope that there's something helpful to tell others. In some of the film that I showed tonight, a lot of it was, or little bits of it were pictures that I drew when I was a little boy, maybe 5 years old. And I think as a little boy, I would do something and draw a picture. And then now, as a man, or I think of myself as a boy still, but maybe I'm a man, it's just my way of drawing a picture like I did when I was a little boy. They kind of go together. You have fun, then I kind of describe it some way through art. And either I write, I've been working on writing, working on a book right now, or through film. And it's just an extension of drawing pictures as a little boy. I have very primitive computer experience, but most of the time, wherever I am, I'll find somebody that I like, that's in the area, and become friends with, and then at night, when there's no climbing, just hang out and party a little bit and work on being creative. I have been working on this film for a few years now, and for some reason in my life, I'm unable to do things that aren't really special for me. It's maybe a good thing and a bad thing. It helps me be very passionate about what I'm doing, but then there's some things in life that I really should do that I don't like, and then I don't do them. So this film is something I really like. It's something I've worked on for a few years, and it's the best way I know of expressing what I do, and trying to give back something for such a selfish lifestyle that I live. Mostly I'm by myself doing things for me, and now that I'm getting a little older, I'm trying to figure out a way to give back, and through my experiences. Yeah, lately, or the last 2 years, I've been through a divorce. So I kind of lost my family a little bit, and then at that same time, Beat started coming around, and was like, "Hey, come on over to Austria, and anytime." And sometimes people say that, and maybe they don't mean it so much, but anytime I've come over 4 times now. And he always is, him and Christina especially, it's not just Beat, it's Christina too, they're there for me like family. Like sometimes I came when I was very upset and they were there, and now I'm pretty good and stuff, and they're still there, and those things are special. You got to pay attention to them, you know, the close people that come into your life, because that's as important as it gets. Lately, I come here to Europe, and often I'm out of shape for climbing, and then I come here and I climb for a month or two with Beat, and I get in better shape, and then we think of something big to do together. I've always been trying to get him to come with me to Patagonia and try this very long alpine climb together, and then and that may or may not happen, but I know he's thinking about it. And then we also talk about climbing long free routes together and finding unclimbed lines, you know, whether it's in this area or in Yosemite or other places where he's been or I've been. But both of us don't like to tell our projects before we do them. The dream to fly is, all of us dream it. I don't know how it's inside. Everybody basically has a flying dream during their life. I had one when I was a little boy. It's my first memory. And then, 30 years later, I actually fly out of an airplane, and I felt some of the same sensations, the lift sensation, where when you're flying, you form a wing shape, and you form a vacuum on your back, and it's not the air holding you up, but it's the emptiness sucking you up. And somehow in that dream that I had as a little boy, I felt that emptiness, suction pulling on my back. And then 30 years later, when I learned skydiving, I felt it for real, and that the connection of having a dream as a little boy and then feeling it 30 years later was undeniable. And then now with, I hate to call it this, but with extreme sport, human beings are getting close to really flying their body. It's not crazy to think that we can fly, because we're already doing it, and we can land. Speed skiers, for instance, fall while going 100 miles an hour down ski slopes, and they live. And then I can fly my body much slower than that. And so now my ultimate goal, or thing that drives me and I dream of night after night and every waking moment, is to do just that, to fly my human body and land it on the perfect snow slope.